Alright, just a quick word about the Zimmerman case. I think that the prosecutor did a good job with the closing. I think they could have done a better job leading up to it, and you see all the hosts freaking out, the pro-Zimmerman, why didn't they tell us they were going to do this? The failed motions for some of the extra lesser charges, that doesn't matter, those failed. But in terms of showing Murder 2, the idea that Zimmerman built up an ill will for a category, a kind of person that he then assumed Trayvon was, a category that he profiled Trayvon as, right? Not racially in the sense that any black person, his black neighbor, harmless black neighbor, no, he wouldn't put her in that category. It could have been maybe a young person of another ethnicity, or there's various categories, but whatever, he went around assuming that Trayvon was a criminal. And Bernie also, the prosecutor also showed, I think, fairly well, inconsistencies in the story, and that he was pursuing Trayvon with an ill will, and the lie is that he did not cease pursuing Trayvon. He did not stop pursuing, but he says he did. That lie must be to cover the fact that he had the ill will and intent to not let Trayvon get away. And since Trayvon ended up dead, it seems like Murder 2. And they went ahead and argued from that perspective, and that's good. They didn't fall back from that. But there is the manslaughter, which is also there for the more objective basis of, did Zimmerman really have to do that? Was Zimmerman really on the edge? Did Zimmerman really provoke and bear ultimate responsibility? Was Zimmerman the one that should have been more scared and obviously wasn't, as the prosecutor pointed out? Or and Trayvon, was he actually the one that had a right and a reason to be scared, and was? Also, the way he dealt with Dee Dee's testimony, and whether she is credible or sophisticated or not, and the difference between those things. So I thought he was not going to do that good of a job. I think he did an excellent job. It'll be interesting to see what the defense says tomorrow, and of course, the prosecutor guy, I think is his last name, I forget, John or something, and he is supposed to do the last bit for the prosecution. So that should be interesting, and since it's happening tomorrow, or actually, who knows, it might be fun to stay up for. It's going to be very early my time, from what I understand. I figured I'd get this up there. Yeah, I guess the point I'll make is that, well, I don't think it's good the way they let it set, but to a certain degree, it looked like it was intentional. Put all of the transcripts, everything up there, and then in the closing, do a bunch of focus in excerpts where it doesn't make it seem like you've taken things out of context when it comes to the big picture. You've exposed them to everything and then highlighted. But I still think it's better to highlight as you go as well, but I'm not a lawyer.